Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. So I wanted to talk about Color Out of Space, which is a Richard Stanley film that I've been waiting for a long time to see. If you watch my channel at all, you'll know I really love Richard Stanley's films. He did Hardware and Dust Devil. He's done a bunch of documentaries, and he worked partially on The Island of Dr. Moreau, which I believe he was then fired from, and then he snuck back onto the scene in a costume and stayed in the background unbeknownst to the new directors or director. Um, so I don't really consider that his movie because I think he got out so early that he didn't have as much influence on it as I would have liked. But Color Out of Space is his first feature film in, I think they said, 20 years. It has Nicolas Cage. I believe her name is Madeline Arthur, and Tommy Chong is in it as well. So this is based off of an H.P. Lovecraft book. I don't know if it's a short story or a novel or whatever, but um, it is about Nicolas Cage and his family living on a farm that he has inherited from his dad, which he said he'd never do. He never wanted to live out in the sticks, but he does in this farm. And they are a ways away from everything. The hospital, like the grocery store, everything is far. And this meteorite falls in, I believe it's their front yard, and things start going just crazy. Everyone starts kind of slowly going insane. People start melting into one another and becoming these like gelatinous messes. People are going nuts and like getting violent. It starts to get really crazy. A lot of people compare this to Mandy, but I don't think it has much to it doesn't feel like that in terms of the trippiness. It is a little trippy, a little weird, but not as much as Mandy. Mandy was put out by the same company who did that Blu-ray, RLJE Films. Um, had the whole like massive amount of color bomb stuff going on, but it's not really similar in terms of tone or anything like that. That's kind of where the similarities end. So all this crazy stuff starts happening, and the family doesn't know what to do. Their electricity goes out, I think, or their Wi-Fi and their cell service, and it just starts getting progressively worse. It was a cool movie. I really liked how sort of closed in it feels after a while. It definitely has that H.P. Lovecraft, Call of Cthulhu type feeling where things just get progressively worse and the people just start getting nuttier and nuttier and nuttier. And has that sense of dread that's kind of falling over everything. So I really like that. I thought Nicolas Cage put on a little bit of a weird accent here and there, but I did like his role in the movie and his wife. I don't know the actress's name. I thought she was pretty good. I think my favorite was the daughter. She sort of plays this hippy dippy Wiccan, and she originally wasn't in the book. I read that the book has Nicolas Cage and his three sons in it, but in this they kind of fleshed out the family and they took the character from the Dunwich Horror, or at least the name of the girl, and used her in it. And then there's two sons as well, a young son and like a maybe 20 or 18-year-old son who's in it, and they raise alpacas. That's the other part of the story. Um, I think if I were to say, well, what would I grade it? I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. I definitely enjoyed it, and my wife liked it way more than she thought she would. She didn't love it, but she definitely liked it. So that was good because usually she's a tough critic, which surprises me because she married me. Um, that being said, I think it's an interesting film. I think it's probably the best H.P. Lovecraft um, based story that I've seen. I've seen some of his other books being turned into films that I enjoyed, like what's it called? Cool Air, Cool Wind, Cool. It was pretty good. This was better. Um, there's a few other ones I've seen, like the Unnameable or whatever it's called, and I can't think of the last one I saw. But anyway, so far this is the one I've liked the best. Um, Though the production value was good, though the special effects were cool, things were weird enough that and creepy enough that I think it earns the right to be an H.P. Lovecraft based piece of cinema. I just recently finished Call of Cthulhu on the Xbox, which is obviously an H.P. Lovecraft inspired game, and that was pretty good. But I think, again, in terms of media, this really hits it pretty well. So I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. I think it could have been better in some ways, but I think Richard Stanley really did great with this film. I think Dust Devil and Hardware and this make just great companion pieces and great pieces in Richard Stanley's arsenal, if you will. So check out Color Out of Space. Let me know what you guys think. If you're big H.P. Lovecraft fans, I'm really not. I haven't read his books, but if you're big fans of his, tell me what you think, in regards to his books versus this movie. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.